to my channel. Today is going to be a video that I've been working on for quite some time now. I think it was one of my favorites videos where I featured a Makeup Geek shadow that someone asked me if I could do a video on my color combinations that I use for my Makeup Geek shadows. That she was having a hard time deciding what color to put with what to make a pretty and cohesive look. So I decided that I would not just tell you, I would show you. So I put together 5 different looks using all of my Makeup Geek shadows. I've talked about these palettes a lot in the past, but I do have a shimmer palette and a matte palette. And I did, like I said, 5 different looks. I go through all the looks with you. It's probably going to be a lengthy video. You would think that I actually had Makeup Geek shadows on today, but no, it didn't work out that way because I've just been really struggling to find a time to do this intro. So it just happened to be today. But I do run through step by step everything I do, why I'm choosing those colors, if they are in the warm or the cool category, and just the color combinations that I like to put together. So if you are interested in knowing what shadows I put with what to make certain looks that I really enjoy from the Makeup Geek line, then just stay tuned. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes and I put the Bare Minerals Primetime Brightening Primer on my lid. And the first color I'm going to go in with is Bake Sale. It's this color right here. And I'm taking it on my Morphe E27 and I'm going to kind of use this as my transition shade. Not really caring too much how precise it is. I just want to lay down a color in my crease. And this is a very neutral color, I think. Like, I feel like it has some cool undertones a little bit, but then it also would work very well with warm tones, which is actually what we're going to be doing today. So I feel like it works best with both of those. So it's a good option to have as a transition color. It's just a little bit darker than Creme Brulee. Now I'm going to go in with my most favorite Makeup Geek shadow ever. It's called Preppy. It's one of those puke in a pan shadows. I don't hear anybody ever talk about this. And it literally is my favorite color of all. This is the Wayne Goss number 4 brush. And it's just a little bit more of a pointed crease brush. And I'm just going to take it directly into the crease. It's going to come up some, but that's okay. So now I'm going to take Magic Act, which is one of her foiled shadows. And it's the gold color. I will say these are best used with the finger, and they do need something underneath them as far as a primer or even a glitter glue, because they do tend to crease if they don't have something to grab onto. So I'm just applying that with my finger as I do all the foiled shadows just on my lid. This is the look that, like, I'm going to work actually for Smashbox today, and this is the look that I always go to, it seems like, when I'm going on a job, because it's neutral, but it still stands out, and it's really good for blue eyes because anything that's gold really makes blue eyes pop. And now, just to deepen up the outer V, I'm going to take Mocha, which is just a nice, pretty neutral brown shade. It's not the darkest color that she carries, or the darkest brown even, but I like it because this, I don't know, this tends to be more of like a natural look. So I just take it on my Sigma E25 and put it on the outer V. And then, as kind of a last step in a lot of the warm tone looks that I do, I'll take a clean fluffy brush. This is the Sephora Pro Crease number 10. And I'll take a very warm color. This is Chickadee. And I'm just going to run that lightly in my crease to kind of blend everything out. Now, as a rule, for my lower lash line, I almost always take the darkest color that I used on my upper lash line, which in this case is Mocha, and I put it on some type of pencil brush. This is the Wayne Goss number 5 brush, and I pretty much just line my lower lash line with that color. And again, this doesn't have to be precise because I'm going to blend it out, but also attach it. Be sure and bring it up and attach it to whatever shade you had up top. And I just kind of like to wing it out just a little bit sometimes. I don't know, because I rarely wear a liner, so that's kind of my way to upturn my eyes, because I do have a little bit of a downturned eye. Just wing it out just a little bit. And then I will take my trusty Morphe M507, which is probably my favorite under eye brush. It's just a very pointy brush. And I'll take one of the lighter colors I used in my crease. So For this, it could be either Bake Sale, Chickadee, or Preppy. And I think I'm going to mix Bake Sale and Chickadee together on this brush. Tap it off and just go to town. Blending under your eye. Now, I like an excessive under eye shadow with my eyeshadow, so you don't have to go as like crazy as I do, but that's just my preference. And then for the final touch, I take some kind of small shader brush and I go into a highlight color, which in this case will be Shimma Shimma. And I highlight my inner corners and my brow bone. And this is the final eye look for Magic Act Chickadee, Mocha, Preppy, and Bake Sale. So today I'm doing one of my favorite cool tone looks from Makeup Geek. I did this, I think for the first time on a bridesmaid one time, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I've already primed, and I used the Laura Mercier Metallic Cream Eye Color in Platinum as my eyelid base. And now I'm going to go in with my first color, which is Cupcake. And it's just this very cool tone pink, very nice transition crease color. And I'm going to take my Sedona Lace, I don't know what number it is because it's worn off, but it's the crease brush, the pink crease brush. And I'm just going to put Cupcake into the crease as our normal first transition color. And I want this to go a little bit higher because I am going to put another crease color in, and I still want this to show. So I'm taking it almost up to my brow bone. Okay, so we've got that in as our transition color. Now we're going to go in with a separate crease color. I can barely get these pans out of the Z palette. This is Unexpected. And this is a really nice cool tone purpley gray color that it's so perfect for the crease. So again, I'm going to use my Wayne Goss brush like I have done for some of the other looks. This is the number 4 brush. And I'm going to take that directly into my crease. So I'm going to find the socket like that and then just go back and forth. Again, I still want that first mascara under my eyes, first Cupcake color to show through. I just want this to more define the crease than anything. And it's not that it's much darker than the Cupcake, it's just a different tone. So it's okay if it doesn't show up a ton. Like this is just about a gradient effect. Now we're going to take the literal star of the show. This is Starry Eyed, which is, again, one of her foiled shadows. It does have a little bit of a pink undertone. It's not as pink as, like, Whimsical, another one of the shadows, but it's still got a very cool tone undertone. Now today I'm going to start with my Sedona Lace 941 to just kind of place it and carve out my lid. And then I'll go in to intensify it with my finger. See, I'm just pressing it in like this just to carve out where I actually want that lid color. And that right there is just, even that is just so pretty. But I'm going to go in just with my finger and just kind of bump the lid color up just a little bit. These types of colors, these bright foiled colors, are really particularly good with those with more like sallow deep set eyes, because they really bring your eyes forward. It's just the same as the highlighting and contouring effect that you want for your face. It works the same for your eyes. So if you've got deep set eyes and lids that you want to kind of make pop, this is a great way to do it. This is my favorite part. This is the color Curfew, which is just a very beautiful, bright purple. It's very reminiscent of my Makeup Forever M928. It's not quite as dark, but it's still beautiful all the same. I'm taking it on my Sigma E54 just to place it on my outer corner. And then I will blend it out with my Sigma E25. So just put a tiny little bit of that same color on my, this is actually my Morphe M433. And I'm just going to kind of blend it into the other colors. And then I'm going to go back in, as I always do, with that first color I use, that Cupcake color, and just kind of blend all those colors. Okay, so I thought I was recording and I wasn't. What I'm doing is taking my M507, I've mixed Cupcake and Unexpected, and I'm buffing the lighter colors out first under my eyes. Normally I go in with the darker color first, but this time I just want to have that darker color stand out a little bit more. So Just buffing that under. And then I'm taking an angled brush. It's just like a, come on, there we go. Like a eyeliner brush. And I'm taking, excuse me, Curfew on that. I'm just going to press it up right against my lash line. And I've already done my concealer and face, so I want to make sure I really knock any excess product off, because I don't want it to end up on my face. So that way I feel like the purple shows up just a little bit more. And for my inner corner, I'm actually going to take Starry Eyed again, because I want it to be a little bit more intense in my inner corner, or a lot more intense, however you want to say it. I like to shine. Then I'm going to kind of wipe that brush off and do Shimma Shimma on my brow bone. Okay, so this is the finished cool tone look with 4 Makeup Geek shadows. Love this look. Like, it's one of my very favorites. I feel so big. Here we go. It's one of my very favorites as far as Makeup Geek goes, and I feel like some people are very scared to pull off cool tones, and let me be the first to tell you, you don't have to have cool toned skin to wear cool toned eyes or cool toned lips. I have mustard yellow skin, and I love looks like this. So, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, we're back for another day of Makeup Geek shadows. Today I'm doing more of like what most people would probably consider an evening look, only because it doesn't have a very bright color on the eyelid. It is a little bit more cool toned, and I personally would wear this every day, but I think we've established many times on my channel that my everyday is other people's like event makeup. So I just figure you either go big or you go home. So I'm going to start out today priming my lids, and I'm going to show you this step this time. The past couple of ones, I don't even know which order I'm going to put this in. I haven't shown this step, but I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleon in Dark Pearl. Now, this technically says it's for brown eyes. I don't go by rules like that. Like, I like the color, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to lightly put this over my lid and blend it up with a dense brush, which is the Morphe E14. The reason this says it's for brown eyes is because it has a purple undertone. And purples really look good on green and brown eyes. And I've got blue eyes, so you see how well I listen to rules. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just the base. So now we're going to get into the actual Makeup Geek colors. And the first color I'm going to use is called Tuscan Sun. And it's a very pretty terracotta / pink shade. And this is going to be, I guess, transition / crease shade. So I'm going to take it on my Sephora Pro Crease number 10 brush and just place it in the crease. I do find you need to build this color up a little bit, which is fine because it seems a little bit intimidating in the pan. So I find that those type of colors work best when they actually need to be built up versus going 110% the first application on your eye. For the lid color today, I'm going to use Prom Night, which is this really pretty taupe with a purple undertone. It's very similar to MAC's Satin Taupe. So if you're familiar with that color, it's pretty much a dead-on dupe for that. And I'm just going to cover my entire lid, again with my favorite lid brush, Sedona Lace 941, covering that whole Charlotte Tilbury base that we laid down earlier. Now, this is perfectly beautiful by itself. You could leave it at that, but you know I like to darken up my outer corner, and for that I'm using Cherry Cola, which is a purple burgundy shade. It's really, really pretty. And you notice, I don't know if you can notice in the camera, but I'm getting stuff everywhere. I am not careful when I lay down my shadows because I don't have my foundation on. I don't even have my primer on, so I don't really care. And I feel like it makes everything go by faster and easier. So I don't mess with it. And I look like a hot mess by the time I'm done. But then I just clean it all up and it looks like I never intended it to be dirty. So just build that up to the desired intensity that you wish for. And then I take that Tuscan Sun and just kind of go back over and blend. You see, I do the same thing on my eye looks pretty much every day. I just change up the colors, and that's because I just don't feel like eyes need to be super, super complicated. Even like in my jobs, my focus is the skin of my clients, and I just don't spend that much time on the eyes because I feel like you can get a beautiful look doing really simple steps. Just open your eyes and make sure that colors are pretty even. If I don't stop recording without pressing record, I'm gonna scream so loud. Okay, well, I've already done Cherry Cola on the lower lash line with the Wayne Goss number 5 brush. I was saying if you wanted an alternative to this brush, the Makeup Geek pencil brush is good and works just as well. I don't feel like it's as soft, and that brush is only like 20 bucks, so if you're wanting to like venture into his line, that's a great place to start. Now I'm just going to take Tuscan Sun. Again, y'all, I don't really venture out too much with different techniques on my eyes. I just prefer to focus on the skin if I'm going to try a different technique. So none of this is going to be new. And I'm just buffing that Cherry Cola color out and making sure that it's attached and that there's no patchiness. Like I see a little bit of patchiness over here, so I'm just going to take a brush with no product, kind of buff that out. So you want to go a little bit, I think you want to go a little bit heavier on the lower lash line when you've got such a dark eye on top to even it out. It can look a little top heavy if you don't. And I'm just a huge fan of an intense smoked out lower lash line anyway, so that's what I did. So this is the final look using Tuscan Sun, Prom Night, and Cherry Cola from Makeup Geek. I love this look. Again, I would totally, obviously, rock this every day, but it is especially good if you're going out. Any kind of nighttime event you've got, it's a perfect, easily attained look. Okay, so today we're doing something a little bit warmer in tone, and this is something that I really enjoy doing on bridesmaids, mother of the brides, myself when I'm in a hurry, because like I have said so many times before, less is more in my opinion when it comes to eye makeup. I like to do stuff really fast, but I like it to look really thought out and well done. So today we, like I said, are doing a warm toned eye, and I'm only going to use 2 shadows, my favorite kind of looks. So those 2 shadows do not include my base. I am going to start out with the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in, let's see, there we go, Marie Antoinette. I know some of you may ask in the comments, do I have to use a base? No, you do not have to use a base. This is just my preferred method. I feel like it makes whatever I put on my lid stick for a little bit longer and just enhances the color a little bit. But it's not anything that you have to do. In fact, I think Makeup Geek has great pigmentation and does not always require one. It is just both habit and necessity for me to use a base. Now I'm going to go in with my crease color, and this is the only crease color I'm using today. It's Desert Sands, this color right here. It's a very mustardy, very warm color. I'm not the best at like describing colors, but that's what it is. You could see from the close-up. And I'm using my Makeup Forever 242 wavy crease brush. I know I'm a broken record with this too, but I just don't pay that much attention to perfect crease colors. I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect crease color, and I don't think there is a need for a perfect crease color. I just don't. I mean, I can't really tell you why. I can just tell you I don't. Now I'm going to go into the star of the show, the lid color, which is Pocket Change. This is a very pretty warm tone bronze color. It is one of the newest releases from the Makeup Geek line, and I'm just going to apply that over that base, all over my lid, and a little bit up into the crease. As always, I go back with my finger just to bump up the color and pigmentation. I do not care if this color gets in the crease. I just dug a piece out. Oh. That's so sad. And then I'm going to take a fluffier brush, a little more dense than the Makeup Forever, in that same Desert Sands color, and I'm just going to blend it all together. The under eyes are going to be probably the simplest under eyes ever, because all I'm doing is taking that Desert Sands color on my M507 and just buffing, I like to say buffing the snot under my under eyes. I don't know why I say that. But if I really want to emphasize something, I always end it with the snot. It's ridiculous. Born and raised in Nashville, y'all. I don't know that I have any other excuse than that. And as always, don't forget to connect your lower lash line with your upper eyeshadow. So that's all that I do for that. So this is the finished look. It's one of my favorites. It's so subtle, but it's absolutely beautiful, and it's really, really good for blue eyes. So keep that in mind. I don't do an inner corner highlight or brow bone highlight with this kind of look because I just want to keep the whole entire thing subtle, and I feel like if I start putting extra highlight around the area of my eye, it kind of takes away from that effect that I'm hoping to go for. So this is the look using two colors, Desert Sands and Pocket Change. Okay, so today we're going to do an all matte look, and I'm going to start out with one of my favorite crease slash transition colors from Makeup Geek, and it is Cream Brûlée. So it's just it's pretty neutral. Like, I don't feel like it really leans cool or warm, which is probably why it's so many people's favorites, because it works with so many different eye looks. And I'm taking that on my Morphe E27 and just putting it in my crease like I do first step for everything. I do want to take this one a little bit higher, more towards the brow bone, just because I know I'm going to be layering a color on top of it, so I want to make sure that it doesn't get completely covered up. Now I'm going to take my Wayne Goss number 4 brush, and I'm going to use the color Chickadee, which is this really pretty mustardy, warm yellow slash orange color. These are the type of colors I feel like people are the most scared of, but honestly, they are so flattering on the eye. I'm just taking that right above Cream Brûlée, but I'm sticking it more into the crease, which is why I chose a more pointed brush like this. It's going to be a more defined application. So it just gives a little bit more of a warmth to the crease, because like I said, the Cream Brûlée was a little bit more on the neutral side, so I think the Chickadee just warms it up just a little bit. Now I don't have like a cream color from Makeup Geek. I have White Lies, but that's a little whiter than I want to use today, so I'm just going to stick with what I set my primer with, which is actually a MAC shadow, and it's called Blanc Type. And I'm just going to kind of put it on top of where it's already laid, but I just want to add a little bit more color and carve out the lid a little bit. I think Makeup Geek does offer a color like this. I just, for some reason, don't have it. And you just build that up to pigmentation that you want. And now I'm going to go in with one of my all-time favorite Makeup Geek colors, and probably one of the most famous that she has ever made. And it's Cocoa Bear, a very pretty, warm, terracotta, maroony, browny color. And I'm going to use a more fluffier crease brush. This is the Morphe M433, and I am going to start to this on the outer corner, but I don't care if it gets on the lid. I don't care if it gets in the crease, because this is pretty much the star of the show. So I'm just putting it on the color and just very gently on the corner, and very gently bringing it in a little bit, probably halfway across the lid. Obviously you want the less pigmented part to be on the farthest or the inmost part of your lid, but it's another reason I love this type of look, because you just don't have to be precise. And then if you want, like I always do, I go back in with a little bit more of one of the crease colors. This time it's going to be Chickadee, and I just kind of blend everything out. And then since I'm doing an all matte look, I always, almost always, I don't want to say always, never say always and never say never, use some kind of liner when I'm doing an all matte look. So I'm going to put a brown liquid liner, which you'll see when I come back to do the lower lash line. All right, so easy does it on the lower lash line. I'm going to take Cocoa Bear on my Wayne Goss number 5 brush, and I'm just going to line my lower lash line with that. Just washed it last night, so it's like super pointy and fabulous. And I know I always stress attaching it to the shadow that you've done over here, but when you've got liner on, it's even more important to do that, because the liner just brings, where the liner ends, brings so much attention to that outer corner, and if you don't have it combined or connected, that's not gonna look good. So I'm going to take my M507 and Chickadee, and I'm going to buff that out. Do not be shy with this buffing technique, because me, I've said it before, I'll say it forever, because I don't think it'll ever change. I think it totally makes or breaks a look, what you do on your lower lash line. Sometimes you want it to make the look by not doing it, and I get that, but rarely do I ever not want to do it. And I brought it down a little bit lower today because my under eyes are so bright. I wanted to kind of diffuse that a little. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that MAC cream color, and I'm just going to take it on my inner corners, and I'm just going to lightly take it on my brow bone. Since this is an all matte look, I'm not going to use a shimmer for this step. So this is the final look for the all matte Makeup Geek shadows. This is the look, I don't remember what video it was in, but it was one like probably four or five videos ago that I was wearing, that a lot of y'all asked for a tutorial on. So that is how I got the eye look. So I hope you enjoy. I love, love, love an all matte look. Like, I just think there's something so sophisticated and classy and everyday, but could be nighttime look about an all matte look. So I love it, and I really love this lip combo too. Side note, Peach Stock and Jouer Skinny Dip. All right, see y'all later. All right, guys, those are the looks. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which one your favorite look was, because I think I know which one my favorite was, but I want to know if it matches up with yours, because I'm curious to know what outsiders think. So be sure and leave down in the comments below what your favorite look was. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any future videos, and have a very blessed day.